Right. Okay then. Hello and welcome to the channel.
At the roundabout, take the third exit to Starlaw Road.
I turned the bloody... I turned the volume. So we're going out this way. It's getting busier here though. It is getting busier. I suppose if you live in this area,
at the roundabout, take the first exit to Starlaw Road.
You'll probably be more used to, like, you know, darting in and around, you know, the roundabouts and stuff. You know, so obviously, if you're not from here, you know, I can smell bakery or something. Anyway, I just had a question from a viewer. Oh, shut up!
First exit.
Fuck, I know! I just had a question from a viewer saying, can I ask you... It starts off with, can I ask you a genuine question? So it's like, right. Well, you've got, like, my urge to be sarcastic with people is never far away, so I have to behave like a professional and answer the question. So basically it was a video of me standing up on a parapet filming a truck on the motorway. So I thought about it. The first thing I thought about saying was, what is the meaning of life? Right? But, like, so you've got to go easy with people, because that's quite a profound
At the roundabout,
question.
take the first exit to N8.
So I thought, no, just to answer it. So, well, it's part of my art practice. You know, that was how I started going around roundabouts and things. So I said, oh, that's a very good question. It's part of my art practice to go strange and unusual places. So I kind of asked for, see, when you're dealing with people, or you're playing a game, so you've got to watch what you say. So I left myself wide open with that, you see, because the next question was, that was not a question. That's not a strange or unusual place, is what she said. So it's like, I haven't answered that. She said a motorway is not a strange or unusual place. So I'm just thinking, is this the sort of person that's just going to argue? Because you do get people like that. Get them at car boot sales, and I learned just to tell them that you can't argue. When they're going to start arguing, they'll argue about anything.
In 1 3/4 miles, take exit.
So now it's well, actually, the answer would be, I'm not actually on the motorway. I'm in the parapet, which is an unusual place. So I was going to write that, and I thought, well, she's just going to turn around and say, she'll think up another argument, because we're fighting for the death here. That's what we're doing here. You know, you're fighting to stay alive. That's what you're doing. It's not just like a casual comment. You're fighting. So there's all sorts of things going on in her mind.
1 mile, take exit 4 on the left to A801, then enter the roundabout.
The parapet that I climb on to take these pictures, I've never ever seen anybody else on there, and I'm actually slightly worried that I could get into trouble. You know, somebody could phone the police. There's a maniac on the parapet, you know. You know, sort of thing. And so favourite songs it's on. So,
Take exit 4 on the left
I mean,
to A801, then enter the roundabout.
yeah, so
At the roundabout, take the third exit to A801.
I mean, when you're dealing with people, you've got to try and leave it so everybody's a winner. You know, but I suppose the fact that I think she's, I would imagine that she thinks my video is a waste of time. Yeah, and it's, you know, probably is where it would be going. I have had that quite a lot. I quite like some of the snotty comments because I then go and I copy them and I put them on, you know, the
At the roundabout, take the first exit to A801.
something about a problem with our Citroen Berlingo. It's a Citroen Berlingo with a very narrow roof box. So it's like, you know, there's basically what you're wanting to do is you want to set people free, you know. So that's what we're really talking about here. It's why are you free and I'm not free? She thinks I'm free. I'm not free.
Exit to
I'm not. You know, I'm not at all free. You know, it might be that she's got HP payments on a car or lease or something, or she's, you know, chucked her husband out, her boyfriend. You know, she's doing a job she doesn't like. You know, she's paying, she can't afford her rent in her house. You know, all these things that could be happening. I don't know. That's a cracking one, but that one. You know, that is a good one. Oh yes. So people are looking and going, what the fuck? So the other one they often will go for would be the, why don't you go and get a job?
In 1.5
sort of
miles, enter the roundabout.
So I think the fact of the matter is, I am an unusual person. There's no doubt about that. You know, I don't probably seem like a pensioner for a start. I'm kind of getting to that age. Because that's, you know, people wonder, like, I've had to pay in my life for things that I've done or things that have happened to me. It's been far from pleasant, you know. So if anybody wants to get jealous, it's like, really, you know. I mean, I'm quite privileged in some ways, but at the same time, I've
the second exit.
suffered. God, you have suffered. Still am, but that's my problem, really. It's not anybody else's problem. So really, that's what it's about. It's about a battle. There's all sorts of things going on. People say to me, "Oh, you're overthinking that." I know that people would say that to me, and it could be true. I don't really like the overthinking thing that much. I think there's an awful lot of underthinking goes on. You know. So basically, there's shut up.
The second exit.
There's societal rules, and if you're not following, if people see you're not following them, they don't like it. And I would bet you a pound to a penny that's what's happening with that lady. But she has been fairly polite. The other thing is I am slightly paranoid, you know, so it could be that I possibly could take something the wrong way. It's just very possible, you know.
In 2.25 miles, enter the roundabout.
You know, that's, just shows you how you need to learn how to, you know, I mean, obviously if you're talking to somebody, it's really difficult, but if somebody's got nefarious intentions, like I believe could be the case in this case, so there I gave that answer, and I left that bit open for her, so I could have said something like, because I'm on a parapet, which is an unusual place. So, you know, another unusual place would be, let's say, like underneath an escalator in a building. A roundabout certainly is. A roundabout's a classic because there's hundreds and thousands of people go there, but nobody goes there. You know, they all go round it, that's why it's called a roundabout. And the other thing is, like, I've got to remember, it's not everybody's on the same wavelength as me. They're not going to think about things like I do. I mean, the thing about work and people that work, you know, like work for companies, there's only, and there's data to prove this. What I'm about to say is, generally there might only be like 20% of the people that are doing any work in a company. The bigger the company gets, the bigger the percentage of people not doing anything gets. So just because you're working for a company doesn't mean that that's the Berlingo that stopped back there. It doesn't mean that you are actually doing anything for the universe. You know, I mean, like for society. Well, not the universe, but I mean society. What are you doing for society? Is it going forwards? Are you helping it go forwards? I mean, a lot of people are making things go backwards. I didn't really think about that until today, but I tend to think that people that aren't productive will just make life stay where it is, you know, rather than go. I didn't think it would actually go backwards, you know.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
It's not necessary to indicate to go back in, really. You know, I mean, I had a bus driver, a friend of mine, tell me, well, a person that I know, tell me that I didn't do that. If you don't have a bus, you don't need to do that, you know. So there you go.
Take the exit to A801.
Now I'm afraid that this.
In half a mile.
But understeer there.
A801.
And this video is maybe going to end because the battery's low. I did try charging it. When you're filming it takes a lot out of the battery.
Keep left on A801.
Is it 2 o'clock or is it 1? I can't remember if I put the clock forward on my car. Is it 2 or is it 1? Oh, I don't know. So I'd say that lady is a bit of a doubter, a cynic or a skeptic.
In 1.5 miles.
But for some reason,
enter the
the algorithms, probably what sent it to her. It's quite interesting this, because if you look at the data, the males and females will look at, you know, have different interests. So the reason she's been put on my feed is because I was at the Kelpies, probably, rather than it being. So I was filming a truck from the Kelpies, because the motorway's outside of the Kelpies. So that's probably why, you know, she's came up against it. I mean, the thing is, if you see something in your door you like it, you don't have to, you know, you could just perhaps. You could just, like, maybe not.
At the roundabout,
just switch the
take
fucking
the
thing off.
third exit.
You know, you could like just move on. You know, I see stuff I don't like. I seen a video this morning. It was like it showed you ground slipping in to the earth, and like you know, like sinking. And this narrator came up. This lady came up and said, "This is because being caused by climate change." No, it hasn't been caused by climate change. It's been like a house falling down into. So the permafrost melts underneath, and the ground slips down. That's not been caused by climate change. It's been caused by because you built your house in a fucking permafrost area. You know, we've got plenty of geologists around that can explain that. My uncle's a geologist, professor of geology. Just like if you're going to build your house in a floodplain and then it floods in 20 years' time, are you going to blame it on climate change? No. It's like, so it's part of the narrative. But I didn't really like it, but I didn't go like sending them a message or something. I just like stopped watching it, didn't I? Because it's shite. Total shite.
At the roundabout, take the third exit to A801.
It's absolute fucking shite. Right, plenty of wood there, eh? Plenty of wood. So we're going to turn right. On your left is Caldercrux, Avonbridge, Maddison. That would be like the back way, like to go to Falkirk. You could have went that way.
In 1 3/4 miles, enter the roundabout.
Potholes. So I mean, it's like there's that Astor's abandoned and the windows open. I mean, there's some sewer. Was it Sun Sewer or something? You've got to pick your battles. So I could probably answer back and say, well, how many people have you seen up in the parapet ever?
Second exit.
How many people have you ever seen at a roundabout?
Second exit to N9.
God, that looks like an impressive roundabout. Look at that. The fir trees there. Of course, the motorway will go through that one. I think the thing with people as well, they want the finished product, they want answers and they want it now. So like, what I've found is the vast majority of people that critique what I'm doing, you go and look at their YouTube channels and they haven't done anything. You know, nothing on there, not a thing.